Hey guys, I did put it in the fridge overnight because it was just exploding out of the bowl, which is great. But look, it's really looking nice. It's really light. As it warms up during the day, it'll be nice. And we're gonna cook it in the coated cast iron. Okay, I'm gonna go out and start the smoker, but I'm gonna show you what kind of coating I'm gonna put on just the turkey breast, the one that we're gonna smoke. All right, cowboy candy, love it. I know it sounds a little weird, but we're also gonna put, oops, no scripts here, mayo and cowboy candy together. Now, let me talk about what the mayo does. You know, guys, mayo is fat, it's oil, and it's binded by eggs. So what's gonna happen is that is gonna keep the bird moist, but I'm gonna put a good amount of that on there. And then I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna clean this spoon. All right, mayonnaise. Guys, I like Duke's. I've used all kinds of mayonnaise. There is a product in there that a lot of people don't like, and that's fine. All it is in the food world is a citric acid. All it does is just keep everything from not turning colors. So we're equal parts cowboy candy or cowgirl candy and then a good mayo. If you don't want the mayo, you could probably put a little olive oil. Okay. Wow, that smells good. Probably because we used this. Okay. It doesn't look appetizing, but trust me, guys, it is amazing. Again, that mayo will melt. It'll melt into the meat, and I'm going to reserve some of this for a little bit later. We're not going to cold smoke, okay? We're gonna medium roast on the grill, but we will kiss it with a little bit of smoke, and I'm gonna go out and light the grill. Hey guys, I'm working on the mirepoix for the stuffing, so I'm gonna cut up the celery, carrot, and onion, and I'll show you how we make it. This kitchen sink is pretty neat because, look, we're in a small galley kitchen, so every little space that you can use for prep makes a big difference. So I'm gonna wrap this up, cut all this up, and then I'm going to show you how we make our dressing. Alright guys, sorry about that, we're back. I don't know why the camera does that, but it does. The only way to turn it off is to take it out of the GoPro case and pull the battery, but no big deal. So we've got to keep the sweet potatoes from turning brown and oxidizing, we're going to do a acidulated water. So as Miss Rochelle does her peeling, we keep them nice and colorful. Just get all that in there. And then when she goes to slice them, she can put them in the pan and coat them with olive oil. That works pretty good. All right, guys, we've got some breakfast sausage in the pan. We're going to brown it off. And I'm going to go ahead now. It's almost, most of it's cooked, but I want to get this mirepoix in there to simmer with that fat. Just a little bit of salt, not too much. And this is fresh ground black pepper I did the other day. And we'll let that go. A little turkey demi, really concentrated. A little water. I might have to add a little more water. We're just gonna let this simmer for a few minutes. Gonna add some good Irish butter, a couple tablespoons. There we go, and then we'll incorporate that in. All right, we're gonna go ahead and drain the potatoes. Good job on that, Rochelle. And I've got a pot over here that will blanch them. All right, we're gonna take our mixture. This is a heavy pan, so I just want to be careful, and I want to pour it into the bread. And I put this sheet pan underneath there just in case it got messy, and then we'll toss this up. Oh, that smells so good. You know, guys, we really never stuff the bird. I've done it in the past, and I just don't like the mushy stuffing. This is what we prefer. It gets so crispy on the top. You know, the vegetables are still kind of al dente. It's just really good. Now what you can do, you can add a little more stock. That bread is really dry, it's really absorbing it. So what I'll do is I'll let it sit, and then I'll check it out and add a little more stock if need be. But other than that, it's ready to go. Put it in the oven. Thanksgiving, about an hour before you're ready to eat. Take the foil off and it will crisp up nice. Be amazing. All right guys, we are gonna blanch the sweet potatoes just to where it's a little tender. I don't want them too soft because they are gonna finish in the oven. Be careful with boiling water. I might lose a couple. I want to get the rawness out of them. We'll let those go for about 5-10 minutes and then we'll check on it. So yeah, it's been about 5-6 minutes. They're just slightly tender. I don't want them mushy. So we're gonna go ahead and drain them and we'll pour some cool water to stop the cooking process. Perfect, it's just starting to go into the sweet potato. I'm gonna be real careful with hot water. Yeah, this is a really nice sink. It's kind of like a semi-commercial sink. We upgraded our kitchen years ago, and I think we got this special ordered at one of the box stores. It's got all the different attachments and parts. Man, you could bathe your grandchild in here. I'm just gonna run some cool water to stop the cooking process. If you let it sit here, it could get mushy.
Okay, so we're now moving on to the afternoon, so past the coffee and now we're on to the Prosecco.
Okay.
So I'm doing sweet potatoes. So we're, as I mentioned earlier, we're doing kind of a savory version and then the kind of the traditional sweet version. My dad is a diabetic, and so of course one of the things we try to be conscious of is making sure that some of our traditional dishes are still things that he can enjoy. So Mike has blanched the sweet potatoes for me, and so I'm just kind of filling a smaller tin for him. But of course there'll be enough for anybody that wants some extras, and then of course then we'll move on to the
Do you put anything on his?
Yeah, so here's where the savory kind of comes in. We'll be putting just a little bit of turkey stock in there, butter, salt, and pepper, and just sort of keep it like that, so it won't have the traditional like marshmallow topping that we're going to do with the other one. So.
All right.
Okay, turkey stock. Now Mike has scooped away most of the fat because I'm just not a big fan of extra fat in the potatoes. He's going to save that for the turkey. So again, this is concentrate. We're just going to plop it a few spoonfuls. We can also add like a dab of water or something to that extent.
I was just gonna get you some water.
Again, we kind of want this to just kind of add to some of the savory. Anyway.
And flavor. Here's your water. Is that your phone beeping?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go check it. I don't know where your phone is. No big deal. A little bit of butter.
Okay, so butter is in there really just as much as you kind of have a preference for. Remember, butter adds a little fat in too, which is part of the other reason I had Mike kind of scrape off some of the turkey fat. Butter to me is like bacon though too, you know, as much as you like.
And your dad's gonna love it.
And so again, this is gonna all kind of melt together, and then kind of just, you know, generous pinches of salt and pepper. And because again we've added a little bit of turkey stock, a little bit of water, and then of course the butter itself will melt. Then this will just, you know, end up making kind of for, you know, a nice little savory sweet potato option compared to the sweet.
I hope we have room in the fridge.
Maybe we'll just order like pizza tonight or something.
Ooh, that'd be good. So what we do, guys, we pre-prepare everything. Some of the things like the root veg over here, we're gonna go ahead and we'll cook. But we like to use these aluminum tins. And then tomorrow, what we'll do is we have a cup of coffee, we'll relax, And then about 2 or 3 hours before, we'll start the bread. And then we'll just pop everything in the oven. It's pre-prepared. Turkey's going to be already carved because I'm going to be doing that here after we do the root veg. And I'll take that. I'm on dish duty today.
Like I see there's a sweet potato here that has a little discoloration on it. Really and truly it shouldn't change anything with the flavor, but I'm just somebody that like gets a little picky about something just not looking right. So we're gonna get rid of that little piece there. Okay, back to a little bit of turkey stock added in. Again, this just kind of melds a little of the flavors, adds a little liquid. Because again, we've already kind of done a pre-cooking process, and so a lot of tomorrow's serving is mostly going to be reheating. So
we take the stocks, every stock that we make, and we kind of reduce it to almost a demi, which means a demi glaze. Just save space.
Okay, and so we've added some pats of butter. Again, just depending on the size of your tray. Remember again, a little bit of the turkey stock is going to have, the fat too. But again, butter's like bacon. So.
Are you gonna salt and pepper that too, right? No? I think you should.
A little bit of salt and pepper, but more of the brown sugar. This one's the sweet one.
Okay.
Okay, and remember.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. I thought you were done. What were you gonna say?
Just the brown sugar is going to have kind of some, liquid components in it as well too. So. Okay, again, just kind of good sized pinches of the salt and pepper. Not too much, because again, we want this on the sweeter side.
I'll move this for you. I'm like hungry, like for Thanksgiving. Wait till you start smelling the turkey.
All right, last but not least, the marshmallows. Now, I will say one thing on the marshmallows. So we actually had some leftover marshmallows, the larger size ones. And Michael and I aren't the hugest fans of like it being completely coated on the top.
No.
So we're just going to kind of take these and kind of fit them in where it looks. Something else I will say about marshmallows. Marshmallows can get kind of dried when they're in your pantry too long. Ours got like a little sticky. So again, don't be afraid to use those older marshmallows, even if they're a little dry, particularly in dishes that you're baking, right? Now it might be different again if we were sitting by the fire making s'mores or something like that.
It's just gonna melt anyway.
They're just gonna melt.
Yeah, it's just...
They're gonna bake in. Anything that might have been like crunchy or chewy or whatever is gonna melt in, so.
All right, looks good. And we'll label them. Guys, the turkey came out, the smoked turkey breast came out wonderful. It's got a nice crispy glaze on it. Looks really moist. I'm gonna just let it sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes. We're gonna leave it whole in a wrap and foil. We'll refrigerate overnight. We'll carve it in the morning, and then we can reheat it. The temperature, the pull-out temperature was about 150. I know that's below the 155 mark, but don't forget, we're gonna be cooking it tomorrow, and I want it to be moist.
All right, next we're slicing and plating the lemon dill cured salmon. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not the hugest fan of salmon, but Mike has this wonderful process of curing it. So imagine it on top of a cream cheese bagel. We serve it. We serve it with capers and lemon, and of course crackers and things like that. But it's absolutely true. And in fact, I don't know. Tell me, Mike. I think the process of curing this is almost a little like the bacon curing process, right?
Yep. So take the salmon and you mix the 40% salt, 60% sugar, and then I zested a bunch of lemon. We normally do a grapefruit cured salmon, which is really nice. Yeah. You guys got to try it. But pretty much any kind of citrus, you could do a lime, and it's going to sit probably for 24 hours. You're going to pack it in that sugar salt, and it's going to turn, and you'll see when I get down low here, it's like gravlax, but it's not smoked. It's just a really good appetizer.
Yeah, we'll probably have to show them how to do that sometime. But yeah, so this is one of my favorite ways to have salmon. Again, just even eating, salmon cooked and whatever, it just hasn't always been my favorite. You also, of course, could create, you know, like a lemon yogurt sauce to go with it. But, you know, again, we like to serve it on crackers, or if we happen to have those New York bagels handy, serve it on bagels and things like that. So we're going to plate that up for you.
All right, guys. Sharp knife. I like to use this. This is like it's a deboning knife for meat, but it's really sharp. Put a little edge, nice and easy. You don't do that. All you're doing with steeling is you're truing the blade. And I want to get it as thin as possible. Nice little bite-sized pieces.
And they don't have to be perfect when they're shaved either.
No.
That's the great thing.
And you'll see how we plated on this really nice. Really fancy, but delicious at the same time. Remember, we eat with our eyes. Okay. Again, just get it as thin as you can. We should, you know, Rochelle, we should do a video on cured salmon.
That's what I was saying.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Because it's just so tasty. It's something different. It keeps well in the fridge if you wrap it.
It does. We actually had this one in the freezer for quite a while, so.
A couple of months, I think. And it thaws great.
And again, you can cut, you know, the slices thicker if you want to. Michael and I just kind of prefer, you know, kind of the forkable, really thin, put it on crackers.
Okay. Couple more, and then we'll turn the camera off and we'll start plating. Alright guys, we're going to have a little fun with the plate up. We'll start with a little dill. And this is what I used to do in the restaurant business. Let's start with this piece here. And we'll see if you can figure out what we're doing. I'll take these. Put them right there. Kind of make it look like a salmon. Alright, now what I like to do is I like to take some capers. You can see that. And this is a really cool tool that Rochelle got me. I don't know what brand it is. I can't see. Let me.
But you got to show them the flip side.
Oh yeah, the flip side. It has a little poker, or you could. It's a pickle tool, and it has this little. I can get little pickle thing. You can get the pickles out of the jar. But
or the olives.
Or the olives. Yes, indeed.
Now what are capers?
Capers are a pickled green peppercorn.
It's only green peppercorn?
Pretty much. And I like to.
If you are a salt fan, capers are your friend.
Yes. A little bit of the brine will go on there as well too. And I think that's just about enough. Alright, we'll set that aside. I'm going to go ahead and take my microplane and I'm going to zest. Let me switch hands so you can see. I'm going to zest some of that lemon on there. Just going to enhance the flavor. It already has a lot of flavor in there already. I think that's good. I'm going to take the dill and bunch it up. And instead of chopping it in the cutting board, because
You're not using my puller tool this time?
No. I'm going to take scissors. This way we're not damaging the dill. You're not
because
pressing.
the oils will come out and it won't last, right?
It'll push the oils onto the cutting board. Just put a little bit of dill, spread it around. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't normally do this, but I'm a trained professional, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a nice pretty little garnish. I'm being very careful. Just a little twist of citrus. And there we go. We'll wrap it up and we'll serve it tomorrow. Okay guys, I think we've washed our hands, what, 20 times? My hands are starting to turn into raisins, but you gotta wash your hands. Hey guys, quick trick I wanna show you. See how we wrap our citrus in paper towels? They will stay fresher for so much longer. You just wrap them individually with paper towels and that keeps the moisture out of them. Also too, you can do that with all of your greens. Everything, all our vegetables are wrapped in paper towels. And I promise you, you could have lettuce wrapped in paper towels and it could last 6 weeks. Give it a try.
All right, here we are doing our root veg Brussels sprout roast. So here's the Brussels sprouts. We have a red beet. And then this was orange?
It's an orange beet, golden beet.
Okay, golden beet, golden beet.
Beautiful.
Truly am not a fan of beets, but I'm working on it. Turnip. Again, not necessarily a fan of turnip.
You'll
but,
love it.
Again, trying to work on it. Garlic, carrots. We've got those baby tomatoes. Potatoes.
Yep.
And then we are adding in pearl onions. Here's the deal though. We're using the frozen pearl onions. Part of the reason Mike talked me into that was because, again, think of those little bitty pearl onions and how much you'd have to peel them and so on like that. This is already done for you.
I will never, ever, well, I won't say never, ever, but you know how many times I've spent time in the kitchen and my chefs telling me peel this case of pearl onions and it just was brutal.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Frozen, and of course keeping them kind of frozen as you're putting them in here to roast, it also adds the a little bit of the water content and the moisture.
We're going to roast them on a sheet pan too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But we're going to mix all the happiness, the olive oil, the flavors, and then we're going to go ahead and roast them in the oven. Pretty much most of the way, not all the way, we'll have them a little bit firm, and then we'll go ahead tomorrow, we'll put a little bit of turkey stock, some more oil, and we'll finish them off. So guys, I'm wearing an apron and gloves, because I don't want to get beet dye all over me, and you'll see. Go ahead and process the turnip first. We've got this nice big bowl that we can toss everything in. You know guys, you don't have to peel all the turnip if you don't want. I don't use a peeler, I just kind of use my knife. Just kind of get that outside edge. It's all edible. But just to make it clean looking, I'll go ahead and do that. Nice decent sized chunks. Michelle is helping me out and peeling the carrots. In the bowl. Guys, these are A grade baby reds, the smaller. They are A, and then B are bigger, and then C are the big reds. They're cleaned. There might be a little bit of blemishes, but we're not gonna go crazy. This is rustic cooking right here. Guys, I've been using a knife so long, I don't really use a peeler. I just cut the top off. I'll take that little bit off, and I'll just go around and shave it with my knife. You know, when you're working as a chef in the kitchen, you don't have time to really pull out all these different gadgets and tools. You just get on the cutting board, you get your knife, and you get it done. But look at the cutting board. I know you guys know how beets have a dye, strong color to them. That's good. This one, this golden beet is beautiful. Look at that. Just pretty. Look how the skin just kind of peels, but you can do it with your knife. If you want to use a peeler, you can. See that blemish? You just pop that out. Look at the color, just so beautiful. We are growing beets now this fall garden. However, with the cold snap starting so early, I don't know if we're gonna make it. If not, we'll pull everything out. We've got to get ready to plant onions and garlic. That's gonna happen. We have sections of the garden that we can start planting the garlic. The onion, we're gonna wait. Our order from Dixon Dale should be in here in a couple of weeks. Even if we're mid to late December, we're fine. Okay, let's clean these up. All right, into the bowl. Carrots in the bowl. I'm gonna roast some garlic, guys, to tame it. A little olive oil, it's in foil. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper.
What about some truffle salt on that? Would that be good?
You know, it would really dominate the dish,
Okay.
even though you and I love truffle. That would be like a whole nother realm. But you could. And then it goes in the oven, 350 for about 15 minutes. Guys, Brussels sprouts, really easy. I take that end off right there because it's kind of dry. I use a paring knife because it's easier, and I just cut them in half, just like that. And we just keep going. Some of the leaves will fall off, that's fine. We'll just keep going till we get them all done. Now, I'm not going to put these in with the root veg. These are going to go in about 10 minutes after the root veg have cooked, so I'll keep them in a separate bowl. Okay, so we're going to add the pearl onions. Mr. Shell's going to add those.
Again, they're still frozen, so they've got a little moisture to them, which really will kind of help in making sure, again, that we've got some moisture.
And it'll steam a little bit.
Steam, yeah.
Yeah, so simple. Olive oil. If I can get it open. Now, as these are roasting for about 10 minutes, that'll give us time to prep the Brussels sprouts. Salt. Pepper. Remember, this has been crushed a couple days ago, so it's still pretty fresh. I definitely like it fresh. I'm going to go ahead. No, I'm not, because we're roasting the garlic. I'm not going to add any garlic. I'm going to go ahead and toss this. Get in there with your hands. Oh, the onions are cold.
Okay, wash your hands and all too.
Absolutely. So if you can push the button to the remote, Rochelle, I'm going to wash my hands and then we'll put this on the sheet pan. All right, guys, we're going to just put this on a sheet pan. I line mine with parchment paper, and that prolongs the life of your sheet pan. We buy really good quality sheet pans. Just kind of move things around, spread them out. We're going to toss everything up here as they cook. Isn't that pretty? God, that looks good. These pearl onions bunching over there. Okay, that looks really good. It's been seasoned. Everything's coated in olive oil. It's going to go into the oven.
We're still waiting on the Brussels sprouts.
We're going to put the Brussels sprouts in about 10-15 minutes after they cook.
Oh.
Because they cook quicker. All right, the oven is preheating, so it's only 270. That's fine. It'll get up to 350. We'll probably set the timer for about 15 minutes, and then the Brussels sprouts will go in for another 10 minutes. Timer, 15, start. Hey guys, I'm working on the injection marinade for the turkey. So we've got a stick of butter, olive oil, and here's that turkey fat that was on the stock. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and while that's boiling, I'm going to throw in some garlic and rosemary. And we'll let that infuse. And let that sit here just for a little bit. I don't want to burn too much of the fat. Turn it into ghee. But what I'll do is, once we take those flavors out of there, I'm going to go ahead and mount it with more butter to get the fat in there. And then we'll take everything out after about 5 minutes.
Butter's like bacon.
Butter's like bacon. That's what Rochelle says. That's enough. I'm going to turn it off. Just let it simmer. Let all those happy flavors come out. We'll go ahead and pull the garlic and the rosemary, and then I'll put more butter in so we get those fats. We'll let that melt, and then we'll take out the garlic and the rosemary. Oh, I made a mess. It's okay. Alright, let's check the root veg. Roasted garlic, I think is done. It smells like it is. We got another 15 minutes. Alright guys, the root veg are done. We did add the Brussels sprouts. Ooh, it looks good. We're going to go ahead and transfer it into the pan. And we're going to add probably a little bit of turkey stock for tomorrow. Okay guys, the star of the show is the turkey. It's been brining for a couple days. We got to get that brine out of there. And drain it really well. Okay. Get all the liquid out the best we can. There we go. Let me clean up my hands and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay guys, we're going to make a compound butter. This is going to go underneath the breast and it's going to go under the skin. So I've got some room temperature butter and we'll scoot you down here and I'll show you what we're going to be putting in here. Miss Rochelle wants some lemon pepper. We're going to do onion powder. And then garlic powder. And I'm going to work that with a spoon and I'll show you how we put it underneath the skin. Oops. That looks like we're having a computer issue with the GoPro. Sorry guys, I have to pull the battery out. We'll come closer in here. Alright guys, we're going to get our hands dirty. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to get underneath the skin. See how I'm getting underneath the skin? Nice and gently, we want to loosen that up. You know, the breast is going to be the driest part. I might even get a little under the leg. The thigh down below, we want to get underneath there. That's what we want without tearing it. So now I'm going to take this butter with my hand and I'm going to squish it. I'm going to mix everything together. There we go. Get all those flavors in there. I'm telling you, it's so worth it. So now I'm going to take a knob of butter. See? Take that knob right there and I'm going to go underneath. Get it up in there. And then I'll show you how we push it in. There we go, another knob. There we go. Get it in there. And just keep going. There we go. A couple more. Under the skin. Right there, okay? I got a little bit extra. I'm gonna rub on top. And then I'm gonna, look guys, I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna massage it in. Down around, down the skin. Get it up in there. All the way down. Get it up in there. Miss Rochelle, if you could, my hands are covered in butter. Could you push the button? Alright guys, we have our olive oil butter mixture infused with garlic. and rosemary. We're going to go ahead and fill up our injector. Nice and slow. We want to get that injected into mainly the breast meat. Fill it up. All right, let's go down here by the turkey. We're going to start right here. Work it in, see how it's filling in. And then we're going to go down here and work it in. Same on the other side. And then down here. Yes. I'm going to do this a few times. Every year we have really moist turkey. I'm going to come in low right here, down by the thigh, get it in there. Down here again on this side. I know you're thinking, oh my God, that's so much butter, it's so much fat, but it's gonna make
Butter's like bacon.
butter's like bacon. It's gonna make a difference, that's for sure. Go slow. All right, let's work it into the leg. Thank you. There we go. Nice. The other leg. I like turkey legs. Well, we're almost done. We're going to finish this up, and then we're going to take our next step. If we want to season the inside of the cavity, we've got a mixture here of salt, pepper, and lemon pepper. Get it in there, and now we're going to put in some aromatics. We're going to throw in some onion, some lemon, celery. We're just going to kind of mix it up. More lemon. Hey, there we go. Garlic. I don't like to put stuffing in our turkey. It just turns into mush. We're going to pack it in there, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Alright guys, I tucked the wings in, everything is set. I went ahead and used the metal skewer just to kind of connect this together. Again, 350, we're going to season the outside. You can always re-season during the basting. Simple, classic. So this is about 15 pounds, so I'm thinking 3.5 to 4 hours. Yeah, 3.5 to 4 hours, and what we'll do is we're going to temp it. I'm going to pull it out probably around 150. I might even, during the process, flip it upside down to let all the juices go back into the breast. Alright guys, the oven is prepped. I'm going to turn it in there. And this is the day before Thanksgiving, so we're going to cook this and we'll probably see you tomorrow. Hey friends, it's about 5 p.m. It's been about 3.5 hours. It is looking so good. The smell, we're going to capture all that juice for the gravy tomorrow. So we will continue. We're probably going to let this sit at room temperature for about an hour or two. We will refrigerate it in the morning. We will carve it, layer it in the pans that we want it, and it's going to be amazing. We'll make gravy, but we'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, the turkey looks really good. It's about 5:20. We are going to go out and light a barn fire or fire pit and have fun. Let that cool probably for about an hour. We're probably going to put it in the fridge tonight, and then I'll carve it in the morning, and then we'll just kind of dress it up. Good morning. It is Thanksgiving morning. I am going to process the bird. We were just so tired yesterday, so I'm going to get to work. Okay guys, the carcass with bones is going in the oven to roast. The dark meat obviously needs to be cooked more. The breast is pretty much perfect, and I've got some turkey stock in there. When we go to heat it up later on, it will continue to cook and get up there to the perfect temperature, but it's going to be moist. Alright guys, I'm going to take some of the turkey fat. Let that heat up. Take some flour, make a roux. A little more flour. And a touch more. Gonna let that cook for about a minute or two. Want to burn off the flour. There we go. I'm happy with that. I want a little more flour. Once that burns off, another minute or two. Alright, now we're going to add our turkey stock. Turn up the heat. So this is concentrated stock, so I'm going to have to add some water. Let that go first. Looking nice and thick. Going to add a little bit of butter. Mount it with a little bit of butter for some sheen. And I think we're done. Looking good. Alright guys, I am going to pull out the turkey carcass. Got nice and roasted. I'm going to just set that aside. This is what we're going to use to make our stock that we're going to freeze. Probably use it this year, maybe into next year. Hey guys, the oven is heating up for the bread. Excuse me. That's got to heat up to 450. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make stock with the carcass. So we've got mirepoix, celery, onion, and carrots. I put garlic. We put coriander, black pepper, dill seed, celery seed, and we're going to just put the carcass right on in. I broke it in half. It will break down as you simmer it in time. So as long as it's sitting in there, it's fine. And then part of the leg bones. So we're going to simmer this pretty much for 3-4 hours. Hey guys, I want to show you the dough. I went ahead and split it into two because it was just growing so much. Look how beautiful that is. See how it's just rolling around? You don't have to knead it. Now I took this half and I added black pepper and Parmesan. Just something different. I'm going to cook this one on a pizza stone. I'm going to be very gentle and we're going to roll it onto the stone. I'm going to take a knife and you'll see I'm going to score it. Same with this one as well, but this is going to cook in a coated cast iron. So let me get everything set up and we'll bring you over there. Okay guys, this oven is hot. It's at 450. I might have to scoot the camera. There we go. So I'm going to take the first bread. I've got that pizza stone. I'm going to gently put it in my hand and lay it right on the stone. Boom, right there. And then I'm going to score it. Okay. It's going to be nice. I'm going to pop it back in. I'm going to bring you guys up over here. Let me turn the camera off. Alright, this has been preheated. This is hot. So I'm going to be gentle. See how I'm turning the bowl? Put it in my hand and just set it right there. Again, I'm going to score it. That'll let the air out as it steams. Perfect. Go a little deeper. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to put the lid back on and pop it in the oven. "30 minutes covered and then uncovered probably 20 minutes. Alright guys, the small loaf is done. Look at that. I put some butter and some flake salt on it. I'm going to put it on a rack to cool. This one right here I think needs a little more time. I'm going to go ahead and put some butter and flake salt on that. Wonderful.